I do think having that level of specificity and clarity. What kind of house do you want to live in? What kind of car do you want to drive, if that's what you value? What type of relationship do you want to be in? Do you want somebody who takes care of you energetically? Awesome. Do you not want that? Awesome. But that all starts from a place of clarity. It does.
It all depends, and I think that the more clarity you have on what you want to achieve, there's probably a direct correlation with the probability in which you actually achieve it. The problem is, the more clarity you have, the more you might have to give up in order to stay on the path toward that thing.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another episode of Next Level University, where we help you level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. Today, for episode number 1975, everything starts with this one thing. I was on a podcast recently, and this question has gotten increasingly more challenging to answer as we have done this more and more. Let's say, Kev, I reconnect with you in 2 years. What's life look like? It's like, this is going to be very upsetting and disappointing to you. Same shit, just hopefully a lot better. Same shit. It's going to be the same thing. Going to be podcasting, and I'm going to be coaching, and I'm going to be talking about podcasting. I'm going to be talking about holistic self-improvement, and that's it. Yeah, I'll probably be podcasting more and coaching more. A multiplied version of what I'm doing today is usually my answer. But I also say at the end of that, but I also understand that I am very privileged in the fact that I have this, and I have worked very, very diligently over the last however many years to get this level of clarity. Because of the clarity, there is not really that much uncertainty. If anything, there's like a boring amount of certainty. It's just not that exciting in terms of what will I be doing. I'll be doing the same stuff. Luckily, I'm excited with that stuff, but it's not, I don't know. I think I used to expect that so much would change around everything. Like health, wealth, love. Everything would change. It would go from like 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, like all the way up to 10. Now I realize it's probably just going to go from like 5 to 5.1. So essentially, almost nothing will seem like it changes, but then when I look back 5 years, it will have changed a ton. And I think just having that level of clarity is really a privilege that you can work really hard to get. And it's kind of a cheat code. There's not a lot of time wasted on doing stuff that isn't part of the vision. And I can understand maybe that's like a hyper masculine thing, and a feminine energy might not do as well with that because it's just the same thing every day. But yeah, well, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about clarity. Everything starts with clarity. One of the hardest things in the world, this is not really, but just as this example, Tara and I will be hanging out on a Friday night. What do you want for dinner? We have no clarity. Why does it take so long to come up with something to eat? Because we have no clarity. Well, we're going to have something that's Italian. Okay, cool. That's clarity, which then allows us to hone a little bit, and then that gets rid of a bunch of things. Yeah, clarity is an amazing thing to have, and I think it's probably harder to get than most people give credit for, but maybe easier to get if you have the right people around you. That's my opening thesis.
I have a new client who's been in HR corporate for 20 years. And we were talking about it. It was first consulting call. She was looking for a coach, recommended by one of my other clients. Awesome. Thank you. You both know who you are. And she said she wants to start her own thing. What do you think I should do? Do you think I should go all in on my own thing like you did? Or do you think I should kind of go part-time back to corporate and then do the hybrid thing? And I said, well, there's 3 roads. There's you go back to corporate and do that. She's like, eh. I said, okay. The second road is hybrid, where you do both. Corporate pays the bills while you build a brand and a business. That's the one I highly recommend. That's not the one Kevin and I did. Kevin and I both quit cold turkey, no income, went all in on this, and almost lost ourselves.
It was brutal.
Yeah, but we had absolute clarity. And I said, you want to know why I know you'll succeed if we do the work? Is because you're not trying to do a new industry. she wants to be HR consultant. She has 20 years of experience in HR already. And big companies, big name brand companies. I said, you're going to be fine. We're going to start an HR company where you're consulting, and that's where companies are going anyway. They want to consult if they can, rather than hiring it in-house because it's more expensive to hire in-house. So I said, one of the reasons I'm certain I can help you is because you're not trying to go play piano for a living. You've been in HR for 20 years, and then you come to me and say, I want to play piano and make a career out of it. That would be, listen, do you have another 20 years? Because you're taking your expertise and transforming it into a different space, but it's the same expertise. And I think that her having that level of clarity makes it much more likely that she succeeds. Kevin and I had a ton of clarity going into this, and the more we do this, we work with, I think, 68 podcasters now, 28 business owners now for me. I've gotten a lot of new clients lately, which has been really awesome. And I think that the cycle that I'm running in coaching is inject clarity, which creates certainty. Certainty creates massive, messy action. Massive, messy action creates momentum. Momentum creates results. And then when results come, it creates a bunch of mayhem and less certainty. So then you have to come back and inject clarity again. And one of the things that I think is a misunderstood concept is people who don't have clarity on what they want for their health, people who don't have clarity on what they want for their career, people who don't have clarity on what they want in an intimate partner, people who don't have clarity about where they want to live or in what type of house or what type of car they want to drive, people who don't have clarity, it's very unlikely that you randomly stumble upon the things that you want. So it's the who, what, when, where, why clarity questions. And that's really what coaching is. It's just, you just get so much clarity on what you want, why you want it, how you're going to actually achieve it, and then how often you're going to iterate. And Kev and I, when we got together this morning, I was a little late, and it's like, what do we want to talk about? I said, I think I'm finding it difficult to realize that a lot of people have very little clarity on who they are, why they want, what they actually want, where they're going, where they've been, the who, what, when, where, why. And that must feel so scary. There's a personal development speaker named Zig Ziglar, way back, and he said there's two types of people, and this is a spectrum, so don't quote me on this. There's a meaningful specific, and there's a wandering generality. And I've used Taylor Swift. You can use Simone Biles. We just watched the Netflix series. I've been talking a lot about that. It's very inspiring. Best gymnast in history. Unbelievable. Shout out to Simone Biles. She just does gymnastics. She's dating an NFL player. They have a very successful life. It's very obvious their statistical level of success is wildly beyond average. But she doesn't play piano on the side. She doesn't do anything other than gymnastics, and he doesn't do anything other than football. But they do travel and all that. I think that what I'm really starting to understand, and I hope this is of value to everybody, Taylor Swift, her future, what's she going to be doing in 5 years? She's going to be singing, dancing, and concerts. What's Simone Biles going to be doing in 5 years? At the end, she's like, I'm 27, I'm retiring as a gymnast, I have no freaking idea what I'm going to do. She was showing her house, and she's like, well, this is my office, and I know there's going to be a computer and a desk in here, but I think I'm just going to be Googling shit. Because she's playful.
She'll probably
Exactly.
coach.
Exactly. Same industry, most likely. She'll coach gymnastics or whatever. And I think that some people maybe think that's boring, but if you aren't willing to kind of hone one specialized skill in your career, it's going to be very hard to achieve high levels of success. There's books about this. There's a lot of research about this. Specialization is where the economy has gone.
So I've been editing audio and video for certain clients because we've gotten a lot of new clients, and I want to do a very quick turnaround, and it's very hard to do that with the amount of shows we're doing. The team is always working on something, so I was like, I'm just going to do it, right? If I have a block in my day, I can hammer out an episode. one of the episodes that I did was, it's a show about architecture. Super interesting.
Nice.
And the person that was on as a guest was somebody who was like a behavioral psychologist.
Nice.
And they were talking about how the layout of offices affects workflow and productivity and behavior. And the through line of this person's entire career was that behavior. Like, I want to know about behavior. And then once you do that, like my wife has a master's she's a behavior analyst. I didn't realize that when you do that, you can be a behavior analyst for pets.
Oh, yeah.
You could be a behavior analyst for the government. You can do it for serial killers, blah, 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 all that stuff. Sports teams, probably, all that. It's that
For
one.
serial killers, you mean like investigation as a detective?
Yeah, no, you're not working with the serial killers. No, yeah.
I need you to clarify on that
There's
one.
a show there's a show called Mindhunter. Really good show. I think it's actually coming back. And the person who came up with the term serial killer, I do believe, was a behavior analyst. I think. Don't quote me on
that would make sense.
Right? Don't quote me on that. But I was going to say something. Oh,
who's the main behavior guy that Taryn was preaching to me way back? She said you.
She was not preaching to you, anybody, because she is not a preacher. How dare you?
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
She was though. She was not preaching, but she was very adamant
Convincing.
about me learning this guy. Yeah.
I don't know.
She has a bunch of books about this dude, the behavioral guy. I could probably look it up. Damn.
I genuinely don't know.
I study behavior all the time too, so I'm very fascinated.
I'm not sure. I'll have to ask her. I will ask her. What if the people who are better at quote unquote manifesting are just clear on what they want?
Mm-hmm.
That is step one. So let's imagine, and this is going to be a bold statement. I don't really think the universe cares about me. I don't really think it cares whether I get my BMW or not. I don't think it fucking cares.
It doesn't.
But
hey,
so
it definitely doesn't.
So imagine a world tomorrow where we realize the universe doesn't care and there's nothing beyond us, hypothetically, right? Nothing beyond us. Why would you say that you've manifested the things that you have, or why would you say that you haven't manifested the things that you haven't? Maybe because you're not clear enough. I could never. Okay, I have my dream car here on my desk. This is a Mercedes AMG GTR.
With the hood popped.
I got the hood pop. You want to see
under that? You're flexing that thing.
You want to see under that thing? Jeez, take a look at that. Do you know what can never happen if I don't know I want this car? I can never talk about it, make it happen, and then connect the dots and say I manifested it. Couldn't. Did I manifest the BMW I have? No, I didn't know that was a car when I was 26 years old. I just happened to make enough money to get a BMW, and that's the one. Next Level Nation, what is happening? If you've thought to yourself, I want to try coaching, but you don't really know where to start, group coaching would be a wonderful place for you. That's really why we created it in the first place. We start a new round every 90 days. So if you're hearing this, go to the website, nextleveluniverse.com, and we have the landing page where you can actually hold your spot right now. Even if there's a group going on right now, you can still lock your spot for the next one. The biggest thing that we've seen is as we get closer and closer to the date, unfortunately, some people end up missing. The group fills up and they can't do it, and then they end up regretting that. So please head over to the website. The link will be in the show notes, and we would love to see you there. And I think I've said I've manifested it. What I mean by that is I always wanted some level of luxury car. I never thought I would get it. I think it's because of clarity. That's all. So what type of body do you want? When you and I used to do fitness coaching, you still do to a degree with clients, but not like you used to.
Yeah, actually quite a bit lately.
Quite a
lot
bit
more lately, yeah.
We would say, is there a celebrity who has the type of body that you would like to have within reason? Right?
Yeah.
J-Lo.
Yeah, exactly.
J-Lo's got that booty. Shout out to J-Lo. Not everybody's going to have a booty like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Other people are built in different ways.
That's the one Emilia picked. And Emilia definitely good.
I'm not going to comment on that. Thank you so very much. I'm not going to look like The Rock. The Rock is different, right? So the person I have...
What about him is different?
He's a foot taller than I am. He weighs 100 pounds more than I do.
He's Samoan.
He has really good genetics. You've seen his dad? Jesus.
I know.
Jesus. But That's why I think sometimes clarity comes with dangerous confidence. It's like, oh, I know exactly who I want to look like. I want to look like The Rock. If that helps you exercise more and eat better and be more disciplined, awesome. But it might not be serving you, because I'm not going to grow a foot and look like The Rock. That's not going to happen. But I do think having that level of specificity and clarity. What kind of house do you want to live in? What kind of car do you want to drive, if that's what you value? What type of relationship do you want to be in? Do you want it to be deeply respectful and trustworthy and amazing intimacy and communication, blah, blah, blah? Is that what you want? Awesome. Do you want somebody who takes care of you energetically? Awesome. Do you not want that? Awesome. But that all starts from a place of clarity. It does.
Why do you think... I was in the bookstore yesterday. I saw Jeff Nippard. We ended up actually running into his girlfriend in the store randomly in Florida. Remember that?
I do.
That was a trip. But he wrote a book on the science of bodybuilding, and I looked through it a bit. It actually was pretty sound, honestly.
Oh, Jeff Nippard's legit. He's also
Legit.
5'4".
That's what I was. So I was thinking to myself, Kev
I
could
do.
totally, have that as his dream physique for sure. I feel like you could. That's achievable. I don't know if he's natural. I don't know what your take is on that.
I would
You think
argue,
so?
yeah. I think
He seems natural, right? Yeah. It's interesting.
he's not. This is a weird take, and if you don't know who Jeff Nippard is, just look him up. Nippard is how you spell his last name. He's not in that good of shape compared to the people at the top of the industry.
Yeah. When I saw the book, and again the cover on the front, the picture on the cover, I was like, I think he might be natural. At least the picture he chose. That's for his book.
I think he is.
Yeah, I'm glad that we had this conversation. And again, Kevin and I are big into this, and some of these guys claiming natural aren't, but we've talked about it a lot. It doesn't matter. The point that I'm making about this is, if Kevin wanted Jeff Nippard's physique, he could immediately tomorrow start going to work, buy that book, look at the diet, look at the training, look at the mobility, look at the regiment, look at the science, and he could work toward that. And he might never be at that level, but he'll get a fucking lot closer. I don't know why all those words just slurred together. A fucking lot closer. But I think it's really important for all of us to shoot for things that inspire us and motivate us. And we've been talking a lot about goals and dreams. And I feel inspired by Simone. I feel inspired by Michael Phelps. I feel inspired by these achievements. And I'm not a swimmer and I'm not a gymnast. But I have my own thing that I want to apply that level of dedication to. So if you want level 10 results in life, it's going to require level 10 dedication. If you want level 5 results in life, it's going to require level 5 dedication. But both of those require clarity too. So if you want a home on the beach with a 2-car garage and land and, you're going to have more and more and more clarity about what you want, but also how you're going to get there, who you are, why you want it, who you surround yourself with and who you don't. I remember Kev said one time, how do you know all this? This is early, and we were doing spreadsheets, and he had never been in spreadsheets with me.
The good old days.
And he asked, where did you learn all this? And I said, dude, I had to know all this. This is, when I was 21, I was at $1 billion robotics company. We had to, just to survive, I had to know this. This is basic shit, right? So, but it all depends. That's like a gymnast. Well, everyone can do a backflip. It's a triple backflip that no one can do, right? So it all depends. And I think that the more clarity you have on what you want to achieve, there's probably a direct correlation with the probability in which you actually achieve it. The problem is, the more clarity you have, the more you might have to give up in order to stay on the path toward that thing. So my last question for you, I know we got to jump soon, is why do you think you're someone who, you and I, we just tell the truth. You didn't have any clarity growing up, dude. You didn't have very much clarity. You loved baseball, great. You were good at baseball, boom. But you didn't know what your career was going to look like. I feel like I always had strong clarity on my goals in statistical comparison. For you, how did you decide what to do and what not to do? What was that like?
I just did whatever sounded fun. That was pretty much it. It just did stuff that would seem cool to do.
How many people you think are still doing that?
I think it's easy to get pigeonholed into kind of your point of, I've been doing this for 20 years. I don't know anything else. So, like, what's within the allowance of what I can actually do? So I think a lot of people, unfortunately, are doing that.
I got to make sure we stay on this because I'm sincerely fascinated, not from a place of judgment, curiosity. Were you just hoping it would work out?
Yeah. I was hoping I would get my break at some point. Like, that's why I always tried, okay, maybe it's not this, maybe it's the personal trainer thing. Like, let me try that. I like fitness. I'm good at exercise. I love helping people. Let me give that a shot. No, that ain't it. All right, let me get an in-between job until I can figure out the next thing. I'll go drive a forklift. Oh, firefighter. Shit. Okay, let me go do that. That would be awesome. That's a career. I could do that. I'll just paint houses and work as a little contractor with my buddy here on the side while I do that. Graduate that. The odds of me becoming a firefighter, very low. I'm not a veteran. I'm not a former police officer. I'm not a paramedic. Like, that's years and years. Do I really want to wait for that? No. On to the next thing. I'm going to do this weatherization thing. I'm making 4 times the amount of money I've ever made, at least up to 10 times the amount of money I've ever made. Cool.
What was your dream?
I didn't really have. My first dream that I actually pursued was to fight. That was my first dream that I actually pursued. And then after that, it was just like, I don't know. That's super risky. I still, I guess, went in on a risk, but a different one. I don't know if I ever had a dream of what I wanted to do from like an operation. I wanted to be financially free. I wanted to be in shape, and I wanted to be in love.
Okay, awesome. I know we got to jump. Those are byproducts. Those aren't. That's
a starting point. That's a starting point, I think.
Everything Kevin just said of wanting to be in love, wanting to be in shape, and wanting to be financially free are byproducts of clarity. I'm in love, in shape, reasonably, depending who you're standing next to, and then building wealth, financially free, depending. But like, it definitely was, could have, kind of coasted in my early 20s all the way into the sunset. So those were a byproduct of clarity, though.
Yeah, but I think sometimes you shoot and then you get a little bit more clarity as you get closer to it, maybe. You know,
what would you say to someone drifting around? Because you're not going to stumble upon being in love, financially free, and in shape.
I would say try to be more specific about what it is you want. Like, cool. Okay, layer 1 is I want a relationship. Awesome. Love that. Then what? What do you want that relationship to look like? To the best of your ability. You might not have super specific clarity in the beginning. What do you want? What do you want to look like? What do you want your body to look like? And then really, what do you think about money? How does money affect you? And what kind of money do you want to have? Because clarity goes both ways. If you think you want to be a bajillionaire and then you work your face off for your entire life and that's not what you wanted, you're going to be fucking miserable too. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just that. It's most likely not going to go from I have no idea what I want to do to I know exactly what I want to do. I think it's just a little bit of course correction. So yeah, I would just say, what's one thing I could do to get a little bit more clarity? What's one question I could ask and answer? What's one thing I could learn? All of that. The unsexy fundamentals of small course corrections.
Yeah. Self-belief is first, clarity is second, and then after that, it's consistency, work, iteration.
And then you just lie, cheat, and steal your way to success, and then boom, you're done. Obviously, Alan's going to make me say, I'm kidding. That's not serious. I'm not serious.
That's why I always say it. I always say I'm just joking.
I appreciate it.
I need people to know, just in case, right?
If you've listened
out of context,
if you've listened to this show long enough, you know I'm kidding. And if it was to go viral, you have my email. You can.
But there's some people who are new listeners. I'm always trying to remember that.
I feel like by the end of the episode, you'd know.
Okay. You know better than I. You're more of a jokester.
It's a chance I'm willing to take. It's a chance I'm willing to take. All right, we got to get out of here. I got a coaching call. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we don't have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Stay next level. Next Level Nation.